Bahu Koti Chandra Chini Adana Ujvala Bahu Koti Chandra Chini Adana Ujvala Jala Deshe Bannamala Ore Jala Mahala Jala Deshe Bannamala Ore Jala Mahala Shiva Shukanarada Premegara Gara Shiva Shukanarada Premegara Gara Akative Nora Deke Torara Samhara Akative Nora Deke Torara Samhara Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti, Vedanta, Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyari Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasari Ora Bhakta Vrindam Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare. Namamishwaram Satchi Anandurupam Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Ishvaram Sachi Anandurupam Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Ashoda Biolo Kala Davama Aram Shamatyanta Todutya Gopya Sakundalama Bhavamana Aram Shamatyanta Todutya Gopya Rudanta Muhucha Yugmam Rijanta Karamboja Yugmena Satanga Netram Dansa Ushvasakamba Jire Kankakanta Stita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Bharam Iti Dvishvali Labhi Ananda Kundi Vagosham nima jantam akyapayantam. Hare Shitage Shubhakaritatvam Puna Prematasam Shata Vritti Vande Shitage Shubhakaritatvam Puna Prematasam Shata Vritti Vande Aram Deva Moksham Mokshavadimba Nachanyam Vineham Gaure Sharapiha Iram Deva Sago Palapala Sara me manasya virastam kimanyai Idam te mukam bojam hadyantanila Vitam kuntalai snigaraktaischa gopya Idam te mukam bojam hadyantanila Vitam kuntalai snigaraktaischa gopya Ushtumitam bimaraktaharame Anasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Shritam bimaraktaharame Anasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Namo Deva Damodar Dhananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Chalabdi Magnam O Deva Damodar Dhananta Vishnu Ifadi Shivi Shatiri Namatano Rihane Shamamagyam Idyaksi Drisha Shatiri Namatano Rihane Shamamagyam Idyaksi Drisha Uveratmachabara Vadyaiva Yadvad Ayamuchita Bhakti Vajakrita Cha Ayamuchita Bhakti Vajakrita Cha Ata prema bhaktim sakham prayacha Namo kshegraho mesti damodareha Namo kshegraho mesti damodareha Namaste Sudamne Spurhadiptidamne Kadi Hodarayaka Vishvasya Damne Namo Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Evaya Tubhyam Namo Nantalilaya Evaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances.
On seeing his mother whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick. And as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, who is bound with his devotee's love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drown the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayana in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor for eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor for any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know of your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackest lotus face, which are encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yasoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind.
O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I'm drowning in an ocean of sorrow, and I'm almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me. Uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision.
O Lord, Damodara, in your lotus feet as a babe, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Managriva and Nalakuvara, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into effulgence.
O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your lotus abdomen, which was bound by a rope by Mother Yasoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Sri Mati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes.
Kamarastikam ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Jagacharya Ashtatar Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Jagacharya Ashtatar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananti Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sago Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhana ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Yamuna Maya ki jai. Ganga Maya ki jai. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Angaranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadaine. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho. Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimha. Bahir Narasimho Hidraye Narasimho. Narasimha Dim Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakara Kamalavare Naka Aputa Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Anubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Anta Shringa Avakara Kamalavare Naka Abuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Lord Narasimha Dev ki, Prahlada Maharaj ki.
Sachi Suchi's getting on? Yeah. Okay.
Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Jasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna. I think we are continuing from text 30. Put it up here. No, yeah, it's 30. Would it be possible to put it here? Yeah. So we are studying from text 31st. 31st. Okay. Bhagavad Gita text 31st. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam. Sorry. Om Jnanatirandhasya Jnanam Jana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamadam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Visakham Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataruvyaschа Kripasinduvaeva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for reminding me. Text 31st, chapter 18, text 31st. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam eva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa partharajasi. Translation. And that understanding which cannot distinguish between the religious way of life and the irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of passion. Text 32. Adharmam dharmam itiya manyate tamash savrita Sarvarthan viparitamscha buddhi sa parthatamasi. Translation. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction of Partha is in the mode of ignorance. Text 33. Dhrityayaya dharayate Mana pranendriya kriya yogena vyavicharanya dhirti sa partha sattviki. Translation. O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus controls the mind, life, and the acts of the senses, is in the mode of goodness. Text 34. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan Vritya dharayate Arjuna prasangena falakankshki kanksi dhirti sa partharajasi. Translation. And that determination by which one holds fast the fruitive result in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna. Text 35. Yaya swapnam bhayam sokam vishadam madam evacha na vimunchati durmedha dirti sa partha tamasi. Translation. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination is in the mode of darkness. Text 36-37. Sukham tva idanim trividham Shrinu me varatarshava Avyasadramate yatra dukhantam cha nigacchati Tattad agre vishamiva pariname mritopamam Tat sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Translation. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness. Shri Gauranitai ki jai. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Text 38. Vishayendriya samyoga yattad agrimritopamam pariname vishamiva tad sukham rajasam smritam. Translation. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their object, and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion. Text 39. Yad agre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanam atmana nidralasya pramadotam dotham dotham pramadotham adotham tat tamasam udahritam. Translation. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. Text 40. Na tad asti prithviyam va divi deva suvapuna sattvam prakriti jair muktam yad ivishatri virgune. Translation. There is no beginning, there is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is freed from the three modes of material nature. Text 41, last text. Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Sudranam Cha Parantapa Karmani Prabhibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavar Punai. Translation. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are distinguished by their qualities of work, or chastiser of the enemy, in accordance with the modes of nature. Okay, so we go back to text 30 first. We can read, each of us can read a purport Uh, ¿Dónde? Okay, so everyone has the book though. That's fine. So I'll start with text 31 and then we can go from here. Text 31, translation. And that understanding which cannot distinguish between the religious way of life and the irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of passion. Purport. Intelligence in the mode of passion is always working perversely. It accepts religion which are not actual religions and rejects actual religion. All views and activities are misguided. Men of passionate intelligence understand a great soul to be a common man and accept a common man as a great soul. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, their intelligence is in the mode of passion. Yeah, we can do that.
Text 32. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, O Bart, is in the mode of ignorance.
Text 33. O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus controls the mind, life, and the acts of the senses, is in the mode of goodness. Purport. Yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul and determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensual activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is the mode of goodness. The word avyabhitrinya is very significant, for it refers to persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness and are never deviated by any other activity.
Text 35. Oh, sorry, missed that. Never mind. 34. And that determination, by which holds one fast to the fruitive result in religion, economic development, and sense gratification, is in the nature of passion. O Arjuna. Purport. Any person who is always desirous of fruitive results in religious or economic activities, whose only desire is sense gratification, and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged, is in the mode of passion.
Text 35, translation. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination is in the mode of darkness. Purport. It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dream is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dream is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, and who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to be in the mode of ignorance.
Text 36, translation.
O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. Purport. The conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Thus, he cheers the chewed. But sometimes, in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with a great soul. In other words, a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification. But when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing and he is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so called happiness. In the pursuit of self realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and senses and to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison. But if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar and he enjoys life.
Text 38. Translation. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first and poison at the end is said to be of the nature of passion. Report. A young man and a young woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, to have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses. By the end, or after some time, it becomes just like poison. They are separated, or there is divorce, there is lamentation, there is sorrow, etc. Such happiness is always in the mode of passion. Happiness derived from a combination of the senses and the sense object is always a cause of distress and should be avoided by all means.
And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. Purport. One who takes pleasure in laziness and in sleep is certainly in the mode of darkness, and one who has no idea how to act and how not to act is also in the mode of ignorance. For the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is illusion. There is no happiness either in the beginning or the end. For the person in the mode of passion, there might be some kind of ephemeral happiness in the beginning and at the end distress. But for the person in the mode of ignorance, there is only distress, both in the beginning and at the end.
Text 40. There is no being existing, either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary system, which is freed from the three modes of material nature. Purport. The Lord here summarizes the total influence of the three modes of material nature all over the universe.
Last one. Oh.
Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are distinguished by their qualities of work, O chastisers of the enemy, in accordance with the modes of nature. Right, there's no purport for that one. So.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Jamavati Sitaru, do you have any comments? So Bhagavad Gita is actually divided into three sections. The first 6 chapter talks about Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga. the next 6 chapters from 7 until 12. Pure devotional service is stressed. And then from chapter 13 to 18 or 17, there is more trying to understand details, to go into details of several different topics. So actually, Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is reached by chapter, I think, 8, when Krishna stresses about pure devotional service. Chapter, yeah, maybe 8 or 9, somewhere there. Yeah. And then after that, Arjuna wants to confirm Krishna as Supreme Person. So he asks Krishna to display his universal form. So that's chapter 11. So the Bhagavad Gita is divided in this way. The last 6 chapters, 13 through 17, Krishna, he talks about modes of material nature. He talks about what else does he talk about? Divisions of faith, different types, all essentially falling into modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And even in this chapter, the chapter is chapter 18 is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So in one chapter, he covers everything, all of the other chapters. So it is considered that first 12 verses are the summary of chapters 1 through 6. And then verses 13 through, I think, 40. I'm forgetting that part. But 13 through 40 is considered as a summary of chapter 13 through 17. And then the rest focuses on pure devotional service, or summarizing the middle chapters. So Krishna is like a perfect teacher here. He talks about the entire topic, and at the end, he also summarizes everything for the benefit of his student. Like that. And since Bhagavad Gita is not just meant for Arjuna, but for the rest of us as well, for every one of us, Krishna talks about the 3 different modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Because everyone is on a different, is not on the same platform. Everyone is on a different and very different levels of consciousness. So to benefit everyone on different level of consciousness, Krishna stresses about the different modes. And and very lucidly, very um, in detail, he talks about the different symptoms of each of these modes. So we can identify where we are situated and then try to make progress from our level. So in this chapter, from the beginning, Krishna, he talks about different types of renunciation. Renunciation is also in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Similarly, he talks about action in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Activities to be performed, activities, actions in the mode of passion, goodness, and ignorance. Then he talks about knowledge. Knowledge is in the type of goodness, passion, and ignorance as well. And then later on, in the verses that we discussed, he talked about determination in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And then he talks about happiness in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So by talking about this, what's the purpose of Krishna speaking about all these things? It's to help us situate ourselves or find ourselves where we are located in that spectrum, and try to make gradual progress upwards. Yeah, everything in the material world has a tendency to fall down, like gravity. Our consciousness too has a tendency to fall down. So it requires constant effort to actually go upward. If we leave it at rest, then it naturally will fall down. So there has to be constant endeavor towards perfection, and that is where determination comes in, which he talks about verses earlier. So determination, there's he gives very clearly what determination in the mode of goodness is. That determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus controls the mind, life, and the acts of the senses is in the mode of goodness. So, can anyone think of an example of a pastime of the Lord or a devotee? Jai. Diva Maharaj. Yeah. So we can just, I think, what's the word? Meditate on his pastime, his life, a little bit to get. He is an amazing personality. To get an idea of what how determined we should be in search of the Lord. So, Durga Maharaj, I'll actually share a few more stories after this. So Dhruva Maharaj, although he was 5 years old, and stung by the bitter words of his stepmother, who didn't allow him to sit on his father's lap, goes to his mother crying, and because his mother was a devotee of the Lord, she instructs him that only Krishna or Narayan can help him. So that was it. Only I cannot do anything. This is I cannot help you. Only Krishna can help you in this. So she directs him to Krishna, and that was all that he needed. At night, he leaves the palace and goes to the forest. In the forest, he meets Narada Muni. Now, Narada Muni, he is he is what's the word? So he's a perfect teacher. So he wants to test his student as well. So then Narada Muni puts him through a test. He tells him, "Okay, oh Durva, you're only 5 years old. It's your time to play and have fun. You can come to the forest and engage yourself in self-realization when you're old. It's not the time yet. Besides, it's the night time. You should go home. There are so many animals in the forest. It's not safe for you." He gives so many reasons to dissuade Dhruva Maharaj to go back. But what was the reply? What was Dhruva Maharaj's reply? Yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj says, if you cannot help me if you cannot help me if you cannot give me where I can find Krishna or Narayan, or if you cannot help me find Narayan, then you're just wasting my time. Get out of my way. That was what Dhruva Maharaj tells Narada Muni. So impressed by his determination to find Krishna, Narada Muni gives him the mantra. What was the mantra? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That was the mantra for that age. So he gives him the mantra and gives him the proper guidelines on how to chant the mantra and what to do. So Dhruva Maharaj, he observes the rules and regulation properly, and he starts his penances and chanting in a region in Vrindavan. He goes to Vrindavan, and actually he either starts or finds the Lord in the month of Kartik. So besides this, there are so many glories of Kartik, this being one. So actually he finds the Lord during the Kartik month. Yeah. So he performs his penances, chanting constantly the names of Narayan. And then each month he does some more austerity. So, and in the first month, he only eats berries and roots and fruits that have fallen on. No, he eats fruits and roots and drinks water. In the second month, he only eats fruits that have fallen on the ground and drinks water. Like that. And in the third month, he gives up fruits and just drinks water. In the fourth month, he gives up drinking water. Like that. He continues to progress more and more, you know? Like that. So by the end of 6 months, or towards the in the 6th month, is completely controlled the life air within. Is completely what's the word? Within himself, he's realized the self, and he's enjoying himself within. And he's also seeing the Lord within himself. He is completely in trance, and he's completely oblivious to the external world. But because he is in such trance, and he's controlled the life here within himself, he's also controlled the life here of the world outside. So the demigods begin to suffocate because of his penance. This one person, little boy, his penance makes the whole world tremble. So then the Lord has to appear to help alleviate the situation. So then the Lord descends, comes to him, and as soon as he appears there, Dhruva Maharaj cannot see the Lord within, and becomes very, what's the word? Yeah, very agitated and despondent. Yeah, were right words. So then he opens his eyes, and he sees the Lord in front of him. So then he becomes very ecstatic. And then there is this famous conversation between them, and Dhruva Maharaj says, on being asked to ask for some boons, Dhruva Maharaj says, I came here looking for broken pieces of glass. That was my intention. I came to find broken pieces of glass, but I found the gem. Right? So his intention was, what was his intention? Yeah, to get a kingdom greater than his father. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah.
I think, yeah. So when Dhruva came to the forest, his wish was to have a kingdom greater than his great grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, his desire was to get a kingdom, and yeah, that was his intention. Very material. But Krishna is so kind that even if you have material desire and you try to approach him, he will fulfill your desire and also give you, purification. Yeah. He'll also elevate you spiritually. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse? I'll give you what you lack, and I'll preserve what you have. That's not the verse. Jai. And the translation is Jai. I carry what they lack and what they and I preserve what they have. So in case of Dhruva Maharaj, he got what he desired, and also he got actually more than what he desired. All of us, or at least I have a lot of material desires. And the story of Dhruva Maharaj gives so much, what's the word? Encouragement that you can, even if you have desires, you try to approach the Lord. You know? And let the Lord handle it. So, yeah. But many a times what happens is, and this is what when I meditate on the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, is many a times what happens is we have material desires. That's the goal. And there's the process. The process is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Even if we have material desires, that's still the same process. As can be evidenced by the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. But when we have material desires, we keep our focus on the desire and we forget the process. So then the fruit doesn't fructify. You know, the desires, the goal is hard to achieve because we have put our focus somewhere else. The focus should still be in chanting, you know, and let the process work. Yeah, I'm thinking of all the motivational speeches that all the athletes make. They many a times they stress on process. Just follow the process, right? Same thing here. You know, rather than having an eye on the goal and another on the process, just focus on the process and let it do the work. And Krishna has time and again, and you know, it's written on in all the scriptures that simply chanting one name of Lord can give you so many things. You know, it can give you all perfection. But we do not have faith. We do not have faith. So then we try to, because we don't have faith, we try to contemplate on the goal, forgetting that this is what we should be focusing on. You know, so then it works, but it takes time. Yeah. So like that. So that has been my meditation lately. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for speaking, Prabhu. I liked what you said about if we're moving up a hill, we have to have a constant endeavor. Otherwise, we'll just roll back down, fall back down.
Yeah.
So, how do we understand that in the way of of us never losing our progress that we make in devotional service. Because sometimes we can see that maybe we don't endeavor with that intensity or that resolute determination, and then we do get entangled. Our consciousness does drop. So does that mean that we are never rendering devotional service in the first place? Can devotional service only be constituted as something that's unbroken and fixed, technically speaking? Or is it just that I've come into contact with something material, and until I bring myself out of that predicament, only then will I pick up where I left off?
Do you have an answer? If you can summarize that again. Sometimes when the question is too long, then I lose it.
I have a habit of making things too complex. It's not good.
No.
Essentially, how can we understand one's position if they've fallen into a predicament where they haven't endeavored with that determination like Dhruva, and as a result their consciousness has fallen, they've dropped in some way, whether it's subtle or gross or whatever. What can we understand about their position at that moment? We know that devotional service isn't lost. So then what is that happening there? What is that? What's going on to?
No. I understand the question. It happens every day, almost every moment by moment. You can fall into that. Yeah. So you can feel very enthusiastic in the morning, fired up kirtan and all that. And by afternoon, you see something or someone, and then it triggers some memory or something, and then you become despondent or whatnot. So it's moment by moment. Sorry. It's, even within a day, our consciousness fluctuates up and down. And that's just because we are in this material world. And we are, like Krishna mentions here, we are chained by the three modes of material nature. So it's only natural that we fall into that. Now here comes our effort to try to rise above it, and there is where sadhu sangha comes in. Sadhu sangha is the only medicine to rise in bhakti. Sadhu sangha is the only potent medicine. So just be in this association of devotees, and then just hold on to them, hold tightly onto their dhotis, and so we'll go back to Godhead. Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah, comment. Yeah, Jai.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, as you rightly pointed, Prabhu, like many times, even in our life, we come across these different situations wherein we feel little up and lows, series of ups, highs, and downs. So that's the nature of material world. And since we are situated here, therefore we are bound by three modes of nature. But as Prabhu pointed, that once we elevate our consciousness by seeing ourselves in a true identity, that is, we are not the body but part and parcel of Lord. And once we, at least externally cultivate that consciousness, so that eventually in a long term will help us get aligned with the right mindset or whatever it is. So that that way it eventually helps us get back on track always, because as souls we are pure, but because of the association with the material nature we have been contaminated. It's not just one life, we have had millions of life across species. Therefore, those vasanas, everything remains. So what we are undergoing is just like a process of purification. So to carve out the what do you call masterpiece, we are chiseling the anarthas. So therefore, yeah, as and when we practice our bhakti, all these the bad qualities would shoot up, and we would reflect, and we would again then understand that these are the things what we are supposed to work upon. So
Right. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.